Positive Spin, presenting positive, innovative, and solution-oriented news from around the world. On today's program, we feature an interview with Grace Garner, the first Latina mayor of Palm Springs, California. And we'll experience the Mexican city of San Miguel de Allende, the newly established sister city with Palm Springs. Then we'll hear a call for ending the world's learning crisis at the United Nations Transforming Education Conference. Finally, we'll see how our school exercise on gratitude impacts both the students and the teacher. Palm Springs, California is a beautiful desert city with a legendary history with the film industry and a welcoming city which celebrates people of all races, cultures, sexual orientations, sexual identities, and ages. Positive Spin Springs was honored to interview Grace Garner, the city of Palm Springs' first Latina mayor. She spoke about her plans to build on the city's rich cultural diversity, the innovative plans to serve the city's homeless, and Palm Springs' new sister city of San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. Let's join the new mayor of Palm Springs at City Hall. Madam Mayor, can you tell our audience about your life before you became a city council person and now the mayor of Palm Springs?
Well, I grew up here in Palm Springs. This is my hometown. I'm a second-generation resident. And I graduated from Palm Springs High School in 2003. After graduation, I went to Pitzer College, where I was the first person in my family to graduate from college. And after that, I went to Washington, D.C., where I worked on reproductive health issues and LGBTQ issues. Then I decided to go to law school. And after law school, I worked in various legal positions in international arbitration, as well as for the Department of Justice in their consumer protection branch. So I've done a little bit of everything, but always connected to the political arena.
Can you tell us what inspired you to run for elected office?
I've always been interested in politics, and I've always wanted to run for public office, ever since I was a little girl. I learned really early on that it matters so much who we elect, and that the people who are making these decisions have an opportunity to make people's lives better. And an elected official can make the lives of hundreds or thousands or even hundreds of thousands or millions of people's lives better. And that's something that really appealed to me, the ability to help as many people as possible, as quickly as possible.
As the first Latina mayor of Palm Springs, what are your programs for the growing Latino community?
We've always had a robust Latino community in Palm Springs. That's the community that I'm from. And one of the things that we've always been missing is more cultural events and more multi-generational events. You know, the Latino community is very multi-generational. It's common for grandparents and parents and children to all be living under the same roof. So I want to see us do more events that reflect that diversity in age, as well as connect to the Latino culture. It's not just Mexican people who are here, it's also people all over Central America and South America. One thing we've done is host a Dia de los Muertos event, and that's something that my mother and I started in 2020. We did a huge altar outside at Victoria Park, and then the Parks and Rec Department took it over, and now they're doing it every year. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to really showcase the culture of many of our residents.
Your district lies in the center of the African American community. What programs are being developed for them?
We have a very robust and engaged Black community in Palm Springs. They've been that way since the 1960s, and I love that. The Desert Highlands Gateway Estates neighborhood, which is the primary location of the Black community, hosts a monthly neighborhood meeting. They're very engaged. They have the Black History Committee, which is hosting tons of events this February for Black History Month, culminating in a parade. And so I maintain very close contacts with that community. One thing we've done recently is put out to bid 3 city lots for housing. We want to create home ownership opportunities for the folks who live in that neighborhood, and also to expand their park. The James O. Jesse Park is not fully built out. And what we're doing in this coming year is creating a parks master plan, where we'll look at all of our parks and figure out what it is that we need to improve them. And that will include what do we do to expand the James O. Jesse Park. And there's just so many ideas that have already come forward.
We live in a city with an expanding homeless population. I know there are plans for a facility for the homeless. Do you feel that facility goes far enough in addressing this issue?
Our navigation center is coming at the end of the summer, and I think it's going to be a huge help in solving the problem with homelessness and the unhoused. Right now, we only have a small amount of shelter spaces available, and it's simply not enough. The navigation center will have 80 units that are transitional housing. They'll have a bed and a bathroom and some sort of kitchen features depending on the size. And the navigation center will also have wraparound services, support with getting job assistance, rehab for maybe drug addiction or assistance in mental health issues. All of those things will be addressed at this center, and that will give people an opportunity to improve their lives and find permanent housing, which is really the root of this issue. We're also working on developing as much affordable housing and housing at every income level to really address this problem from the start. We don't want people to end up homeless. We want them to have secure housing.
As the first Latino mayor of Palm Springs, what is the significance of the sister city relationship with San Miguel de Allende?
It's really exciting that we have a sister city program with San Miguel de Allende. We just recently signed that agreement, and the mayor of San Miguel de Allende, Mayor Trejo, is very excited. He wants to do a cultural exchange with young people and making sure that our youth have an opportunity to visit Mexico and also to visit the United States, which I think is really exciting. Personally, as a Mexican American, I'm excited to be partnering with a city in Mexico for our first city. I think it helps to honor the many Mexican people that are here in Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley. And I'm just excited to have an opportunity to use my Spanish and interact with the culture on a more regular basis.
Palm Springs is known around the world as a very welcoming city for people of all races, cultures, sexual orientations, sexual identities, and ages. How will we continue to expand upon that to make the city even more welcoming to people throughout the world?
It's incredibly important to me and to the city to have diversity and to support everyone that lives in Palm Springs. It's been such an honor for me personally to serve on a city council that is majority LGBTQ. When I was growing up here, there was still a lot of homophobia in the city. And it's not completely gone, right? But it's a lot less. And we have this city that is so embracing of people of different sexual orientations and races and cultures. And it just makes my heart happy to know that. And we work really hard to continue that. We make sure to do proclamations in honor of different communities. We make sure to be in constant communication with different folks to understand their needs and any additional assistance they might need. And I think those are the kinds of acts that really make sure that people feel welcome here and that they are excited and happy to live in Palm Springs.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It has been a pleasure to speak with you. We feel like we know a lot more about our city at this point. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
¡Hora Pancholín! ¡Fuera de ese Berlín! ¡Ay, ay!
Positive Spin recently visited the historic city of San Miguel de Allende in Mexico, one of the oldest cities in the Americas. San Miguel de Allende is a major center of art and culture in Mexico. Because of its historical significance, UNESCO has proclaimed the city as a World Heritage Site. Its beautiful Baroque neoclassical buildings have inspired foreign artists to move to San Miguel de Allende to establish new art and cultural institutes. Today, the city maintains much of its original charm while featuring numerous art galleries, memorabilia stores, and restaurants. San Miguel de Allende is a welcoming, relaxing, friendly, and safe Mexican city which has inspired many visitors to relocate, including some expatriates from the United States.
Bienvenidos a San Miguel de Allende, corazón de México.
Bienvenidos a San Miguel de Allende, México.
Bienvenidos a Miguel Allende.
Bienvenido a San Miguel.
Bienvenidos a San Miguel.
Bienvenido a San Miguel.
Bienvenidos a San Miguel de Allende.
Okay, San Miguel de Allende was founded by the Spaniards and the Catholic Church in the 1500s. So consequently, it's one of the oldest cities in Mexico. Since the early 1900s, the population of North Americans have been coming here because the lifestyle is so great. And it's also a center for culture and arts here in Mexico. San Miguel de Allende is a cultural capital of Mexico, for example. It's referred to as the heart of Mexico. It doesn't have what Mexico City does in the grandeur of the museums and all the art and theater and all the things that a big city has. But it's very compact with film festivals. We have festivals here all the time. There's 3 or 4 film festivals, there's music festivals, and it's been UNESCO's UNESCO city for many, many years now. It also has been, travel magazines have listed it as one of the 10 best cities in the world. So when you read this, people are always interested to come, and once they come, they see how great the lifestyle is, the weather, the people, as you're finding out.
What was beautiful is the humility of the people. I'm really struck by that more than anything, It reminds me, I went to India years ago. It's the same thing, this kind of humbleness. It's,
Yes.
so rare and so beautiful.
Mexicans have great hearts, okay? And despite what the media says in North America, Mexicans have great heart and they'll go out of their way to help you. And you're just experiencing that firsthand here.
What about the kinds of art? I know there's indigenous art, there's also a whole variety of art.
Well, yes, I mean, there's organic art, as we're seeing, there's a ton. San Miguel de Allende, like Santa Fe, New Mexico, is a very high art-focused community. There are more galleries here than in many places all over the world. Just as the Fábrica Aurora, which is the second largest prefabricated textile industry mill in the world, is here in Mexico in San Miguel de Allende. And this is where there's over 100 galleries and just a wonderful high-end art.
So the people that come here, a lot of them decide to stay.
Yes.
And does that have anything to do with the political climate, you think, of the U.S.?
Well, I moved here December 2016, the month that Trump took office.
Right.
So that does have something to do. I feel no tension here. Life is stress-free. You don't have that electric, nervous feeling that when you step off the airplane in California or to Houston or anywhere in the United States, you feel it. It's just this vibration of excessive energy or stress. You don't feel that here. It totally melts away.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. This has been a real pleasure.
And my pleasure seeing you two again. Yeah, good luck with the show.
All right, thank you.
Peace from Richard Almada.
So if you're thinking of coming for an exotic vacation, I highly recommend San Miguel de Allende in central Mexico. Beautiful, romantic, old Mexico.
This morning, hundreds of millions of children around the world got up, went to school, sat in their classrooms, and still didn't come closer to being able to read. They won't learn tomorrow or the day after that. Instead, they'll be confused, frustrated, and falling behind. For some, it'll be the end of their education. They'll drop out of school, struggle for the rest of their lives to survive and to support their families. And of course, more than 250 million children and youth don't even have the chance to go to school at all. They're not enrolled, they're not learning, and this is attributed to various circumstances: overcrowded classrooms, lack of support for teachers, ineffective or dated curriculum. Basically, the way children are being taught is not working for them. The system is failing them. But looking at the leaders, the innovators, the world shapers in this room today, I'm hopeful that this will not be the end of their story. You are taking the pen to write a different ending that'll change the lives of children around the world, so that every child goes to school and every child learns. Now, we know this is an enormous challenge, but we also know that it's not an impossible one. We have the determination, the experience, the solutions to end this global learning crisis. We can unlock children's dreams, drawing on proven policy solutions and closing the education resource gap. In this room alone, we can see the branches of a global movement to ensure every child learns, including the most marginalized. Now, those branches are growing and extending every day, as partners learn from each other, inspire each other, and with their evidence of what is working in different countries. I know that you are all driven to act by the children that you've seen and whose lives you have seen changing, and I am too. It's been my privilege to meet children from many, many countries in my role as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. These children have had very different experiences, whether that's poverty, conflict, or trauma. But they all shared a deep, deep common yearning for knowledge, to learn. Whether it's children that I've met escaping conflict from Syria, Myanmar, Eritrea, or Ukraine, or living in extreme poverty around the world, including my home country of India. This reminds me of a story. In Ethiopia, I visited a packed classroom in Bambasi Refugee Primary School. I met Zulfa, enrolled in 2nd grade. She must have been about 7 or 8 years old. And she dreamt of becoming a teacher when she grew up. Why, you ask? Because she wanted to help other children learn. Zulfa and her friends, like all children around the world, need to keep those dreams alive. Learning inspires, it ignites dreams, it makes those dreams a reality. We owe every child this basic birthright, an equal chance to learn, to reach their full potential. We must ensure that every child can enter a classroom and leave a learner and a dreamer. Which brings me back to all of you in this room today. I know that you all feel the responsibility on your shoulders. We're looking at you, the governments, the multilateral and civil society partners, to seize the moment and make clear, tangible commitments to help end the learning crisis. I urge all governments to endorse the commitment to action on foundational learning as a collective pledge to help ensure we make progress urgently for every child. Let's maintain the momentum that has brought us all together. Let's not give up. Let's not slow down, and let's not accept the unacceptable. We all know what needs to be done, and we must keep fighting to protect their rights, their dreams, and most of all, their potential.
Today, boys and girls, we're going to take a few minutes and draw on the pieces of paper in front of you something or someone you are grateful for. Taking the time for gratitude is so important for our peace of mind and our happiness. And it's a great way to remind ourselves how lucky we are for what we have and who we have in our lives. Afterwards, we're going to share what we've drawn with the rest of the class. Let's begin. Wonderful, class. Now, who would like to come up first and share what you're grateful for?
Me.
Yes, Sarah, come on up.
I'm thankful for trees because they give me oxygen.
That's wonderful, Sarah. Thank you so much. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Jason, come on up.
I drew my parents because without them I wouldn't even be here. And also they help me with my homework and I love them. Chocolate! I'm grateful for chocolate.
Okay, Rebecca. Thank you. Simon, why don't you come up and share with the class what you're grateful for? Come on up, Simon. I'll be right up here with you. What are you grateful for, Simon? How would you like to play a game with your classmates to see who can guess whose hand you drew? Would you like that? All right, class. Can anyone guess whose hand Simon drew?
I think it's the hand of a policeman because they protect us and keep us safe. I think it's Simon's hand because he's grateful to have a hand. Is it the hand of God? It's your hand, Miss Sanders.
Thank you for watching Positive Spin. This show is made possible through the generosity of the Patty and Jack Wright Foundation and the Prem Rawat Foundation. Watch and subscribe to our previous episodes on YouTube, and please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Free Speech TV, Roku, Sling, DirecTV, Dish Network, and Apple TV. I'm Bill McCarthy. Stay safe and healthy, and remember, you can create your own positive news.